What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 11th day of August, and here we are at about 1.43 cents. I know, we've gone nowhere fast, man. 19 hours, 55 minutes left in the day, but something's definitely moving up right now. You know, typically, too, and if anybody's getting anxious or impatient with OnyxCoin, understand that Bitcoin moving up and OnyxCoin chilling, that's not a bad thing. Typically, Bitcoin actually does run up right before altcoins run up. So this is the preclusion, the foreshadowing of the next move up for altcoins as a whole. And I would think XCN is included in that, right? So any day now, I mean, it could be this week or likely sometime next week and going into the end of the month, we should be rallying. We should be seeing some fantastic growth in a short amount of time. This is that moment to load up the truck. And I am still under the belief that we will go lower, that we will see that 1.3 to 1.2 cent area. We're at 1.43 cents now. Just because I believe that doesn't mean we have to. I'm certainly okay with it going up. It doesn't have to go down. I would like to buy more, but hey, go up, I guess, you know. Make us all some money. Go for that. You know, that's whenever you're wrong and you're making money, that's how you know you're doing it right, right? I very much do believe that one way or another, regardless of if I'm right and we go a little bit lower, or if I'm wrong, we move up higher, no matter what, the bigger move is to the upside. So just make sure you're at least allocated, because if you're trying to time this low perfectly, not a financial advisor, it's just not worth it, especially whenever it comes to the risk factor to the reward factor. It's just not even close, man. And really the real risk isn't investing and then this thing going down. The real risk is not investing and it takes off without you, in my opinion. That's the real true risk with this thing. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. You know, daily time frame here, looking at this, the RSI is starting to shape up a little bit. We are, if we're looking back here, just for example, you know, whenever you found support in the oversold zone a couple of times, or even above it, right, where you found resistance in the RSI was like here at this line, a little bit below that actually, maybe here at the highest, right? So we're not out of the woods yet. We're actually right at that lower area where we did find support. Here we even did that same thing, or resistance, I should say, finding resistance in the same area here. We're not out of the woods really until we get above the 50, and on the price, we're not out of the woods until we get above 1.5 cents. So here we are, 1.43 cents. We got a little bit of growth to go before we get too excited that this is the low. But you know, looking at this here on a 4-hour time frame, there is that double bottom potential. There is that W kind of shape in there, and we haven't gone lower yet. So here you had a pretty big candle, not a lot of volume to back it up, right? We were looking at coin market cap, and I want to say that was less than 4% volume on that day where we dropped there, which was, oh no, that was yesterday. For some reason I thought that was a few days ago. Let's look and see what the last 24 hours have offered us. Because if that was on the 10th, pretty sure that's what it said. Let me see. Yeah, that was yesterday. Let's see how much volume came in on that drop. Even if it's a lot of volume, it wasn't enough to take us lower, that's for damn sure. Waiting on it to load. My cats killed my basil plant. Yep, I'm looking at it now. Well, I mean, there's technically 2 of them, and one of them's limp, the other one's dead, but they're getting watered. I don't know, man. I'm not overwatering them. It's definitely my cats. Volume, yeah, very insignificant volume. So nothing really to be worried with, right? Nothing to see here. Carry on, right? We're probably going to continue moving up at some point. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we went down a little bit lower first. Looking at the 1-hour time frame here, we'll come back out to the 4-hour in a second. Looking at the 1-hour, the MACD is shaping up a little bit bullish, looking like we want to cross above the 0. That's nice. Or we could be at a rejection point. That kind of disagrees with the idea that we go lower, honestly. Stochastics look bullish, so that's good. And the RSI overall looks pretty bullish right now. You are getting oversold, or here you're really failing to get overbought. But I mean, man, you spent a lot of time and are spending a lot of time above the 50. But you're at a point to reject. I don't know. There's bullish things and bearish things. These indicators are less reliable whenever you move sideways. Understand, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're moving sideways, the best indicator is the price. And where we are, we found resistance plenty of times here. It might make sense that we go down. So I'm sticking with that idea that we do move down here. But there are good things about the indicators as well, and bad things, good and bad things. Looking at the MACD. You got the cross above the 0, but you just haven't done anything with it. Yeah, granted, it was the weekend. But you got the cross above the 0, and then you dumped like this? I don't know, man. You know, in another sense of the words, you dumped like this, but you didn't go lower. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I like the stochastics, and overall, I gotta say I like the RSI. So who cares about the MACD? Yeah. Man, it keeps happening, but the 1 hour is a liar. The 4 hour actually tells us the truth, and the 4 hour says we're moving up. So I changed my mind. I'm going to change my mind, and I'm sure you guys love that whenever I do that, but I think we will move up. Today we will actually move up, and maybe we do. Maybe this fortuitous event of getting above about 1.48 cents, 1.5 cents, maybe that happens today. Maybe we do move up. Bitcoin did move up first. Maybe this thing starts to rally. I don't know. I gotta admit, looking at it here, I like the stochastics, and I like the RSI. The MACD really doesn't even look bad. You crossed above the zero. It's just the only thing I don't like about it is why haven't you done anything, right? I thought that we would have rejected here and gone lower, found a higher low, somewhere around here, but I'm cool with this. But you've crossed above the zero. Why haven't we done anything? Why, once we crossed above the zero, did we get the biggest drop we've had in a second? But again, not a whole lot of volume. I don't know what to think about it. I could be setting myself up for failure here, guys. I might be wrong, but I'm calling for the upside. On top of that, this low, the way that we found the low is so unorthodox compared to how OnyxCoin normally finds its low. We don't really spend a lot of time in these areas whenever we find the low. It's like you're there and then you're not the next couple of days. You're there and you're not all in the same day. Most of the time, your lows are very short-lived experiences. But this one's been a long-lived experience. There's definitely things that I'm going against by being bullish, but I'd be going against, I think, some other significant things if I was bearish here. So I'm sticking with the bullish side. I think that we will move up. Let's look at this retracement and see what that would bring for us, okay? We look at this high to a low. You moved up, and you're finding support on the 0.69 area, man. Should I take this high or should I take this high? There's really no... We haven't developed enough, so there's no way to really tell which way is more effective. I like this one, I guess, because it's the overall high versus the overall low, right? I like that. I like where we're finding support. The next idea would be to go up to the 382, which would take us all the way up to about 1.6 cents, just above there, just below there, something in that area. Finding resistance at prior support, finding resistance at prior resistance, 1.6 cents. I'm going to call for that. We're at 1.43 cents now. And the thing is, guys, once we get moving, who's to say that it stops there? We really could start moving up, but don't get too excited. But I think I'm starting to lean back toward the idea that we have found our low and that we're ready to move up. With that, still, I want to be very overly cautious of the of saying that we could go down to about 1.3 to 1.2 cents. It's okay if we go down there. It's okay, right? We've got a big move coming. It's just, do we go lower first and then up? I don't know. I don't really care. I'm calling, at this point in time, I'm back to calling this the low, which is different than what I had in the beginning of the video, which is different than I've had over the past few days. But I'm back to calling this the low. I'm pretty convinced on the 4-hour time frame. I think we had enough bearish opportunities and we didn't take it. So I'm leaning toward the bullish effect, even if it is not a common way or a normal way of finding a low for OnyxCoin. I'm sticking with the bullish effect for now. Prove me wrong, go lower, go to 1.3, 1.2 cents. I don't care. Drop a little bit lower. Find support down there, and then you'll be rallying in a matter of no time at all. Overall, we do have this massive W shape here. Whether we find support here or lower, that's not the point. This move is not what should scare you, right? You shouldn't be worried about missing this move. You should be worried about missing this upside move, because when we do move up, the idea there would be that we see OnyxCoin, XCN, elevate to a price of about 8 cents by the end of this month, if not more. And then we'll see prices that are above 20 cents, 26, 32 cents by the end of September, if not more. I don't have anything else that I want to say, guys. Let's look and see on x.com if there's anything going on with OnyxCoin. We'll just search up OnyxCoin instead of looking at... I mean, we could look at the Onyx DAO, I guess. That's the most relevant. But I just want to look up OnyxCoin just to see what the people are saying, man. Oh, not the top. Let's do the latest. Let's do the latest. July 14th called for the top in OnyxCoin. Warned a side. Oh, well, hey. If that's true, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know these people, but no hype, just signal safe. That's cool. I mean, if that's true, always, whenever you see stuff like this, go that extra step and validate them, right? If they're calling when they're right, are they also calling when they're wrong? Or are they right often? Are they right more than they're wrong? Stuff like that. being right versus being wrong doesn't matter. But if you're gonna follow someone for being right, then it matters, right? You know what I mean? If you're following someone, if they're sending signals, if you're following someone for signals, they better be right more often than they're wrong, right? That's kind of, I think, part of it. What do you see OnyxCoin doing throughout all this? Looks like that's a reply to Ted Pillows. I don't know who Ted Pillows is. No update, no project, only ant trick and investor prank. All right. Well, that's been disproven though, right? Because they actually are developing a lot of different stuff. I mean, things that you can literally use right now. Like you can use it all right now. All these applications and different things that they're developing, you can use them all right now, except for Goliath, I guess. I mean, I don't know if you can use Goliath. I actually haven't tried, but I know it's a work in progress. Let's look at Onyx on their page here, Onyx DAO. I was just seeing if anybody was saying anything. Should you buy XCN now? Absolutely. But you said it could drop a little lower still, dude. You should buy some. Absolutely. Wondering how the new gas free. Yes, yes. I'm not wondering, but that's cool. Vote in the polls, you guys. If you have some XCN, no harm, no foul. Yeah, and nothing new. So I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I need to get some sleep, man. I'm tired. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.